Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and I'm going to talk about the quickest way to recognize you're dealing with a narcissist. There's so many ways to recognize a narcissist if you really understand narcissism, but I'm going to talk about the quickest ways to recognize a narcissist. Now, a lot of people want to say the quickest way to recognize a narcissist is to just tell them no. And that is not always true, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Because when you tell a narcissist no, and it's in the beginning stages of the relationship, the love bombing stage, that narcissist is going to be okay with your no because they're still after that supply that you got. So that is not the quickest way to recognize whether you're dealing with a narcissist. Because this actually happened to me when I was dealing with a narcissist that, wanted something from me, and I told him no. And he was like, oh, that's okay. I could wait. There's no problem. He wanted to wait because he was after a bigger supply, okay? A bigger supply, a financial supply. So even though you tell the narcissist no, that narcissist is not going to, necessarily show their true colors if it's in the beginning, okay? And I've seen influencers talk about this all the time where they say the quickest way to recognize, a narcissist is to say no to them. And that's not true because in the beginning of a relationship, a narcissist will be okay with your no because they're trying to fool you and humble themselves and be like, they're trying to show you that, okay, that's fine. I could wait. There's no problem with that, because they figure in time, they are going to break you down to where you say yes. So you guys, that is not the quickest way to tell them no, all right? So whoever told you that is wrong and doesn't know that because they never experienced it. I've experienced it, and I can tell you straight up, I dealt with a malignant narcissist who I told no, in the beginning during the love bombing stage, and he was like very nice about it and he was cool about it, and it wasn't until later on that he showed his true colors. So they're going to try to fool you, and they're not going to show you that they're angry about it because they still feel they can manipulate you for something. So if that's the case, then what is the quickest way to recognize a narcissist? I'm going to tell you. Narcissists are all about their image. It's all about the narcissist image. I'm going to tell you the two best ways to recognize, or actually the three best ways to recognize a narcissist. Number one, if they're self-absorbed about their image. There's somebody that can't go out with a piece of lint on their shirt because they're so worried about their image. There's somebody who's staring at themselves in the mirror for hours before they go out. They're worried about their image. A narcissist is always worried about what other people think about them, okay? They're terrified about what other people think about them. And this is why a narcissist in the beginning will always ask you, so what did your family think about me? What did your friends think about me? Okay? Because they are terrified, terrified to be looked at in a negative light. They want everybody to look at them like they are terrific, okay? And you see this a lot with the covert narcissist as well. Covert narcissists are very worried about their image. They want to look like the good guy. They want to be the good guy. Or sometimes they use the victim card to manipulate and get what they want. But they are worried about their image. They also want to be portrayed as somebody that is successful. You'll recognize a narcissist too because they'll brag. Some narcissists will brag all the time. That is usually a red flag. You are dealing with a narcissist. They are constantly bragging about something, okay? They're bragging about something, and they're also, like I said, they're worried about their image. They're worried about what people think of them. A sure sign, quick way to know that you're dealing with a narcissist is that they're always trying to prove something, okay? A narcissist always wants to prove that they're right. They always want to prove something. They want to prove that they're good. They want to prove that they're better than you. When you're dating a narcissist in the beginning, they may show you pictures of their fancy cars, their fancy motorcycles, objects that they have of value. They're trying to impress you. They go over the top in trying to prove something or impress you. Or what they do is they try to prove to you that you could trust them, okay? This is what narcissists do. This is why they mirror you. Or like if you're into religion, they'll say, I'm into religion too. Let's pray together. I actually had a narcissist do that with me to try to manipulate and fool me and say, come on, let's say a prayer together. Let's say a prayer together for us. I know that God sent you into my life. Okay? It was all manipulation. Okay? So this is how narcissists, this is how to spot a narcissist, because they're always trying to prove something. They'll try to prove that you could trust them. And nobody tells you, oh, you could trust me, more than a narcissist that you can't trust, okay? So if they're always bringing up the word trust, oh, you could trust me, oh, you could trust me, oh, you could trust me, or they're always trying to prove something, that they're great, they're wonderful, or they're obsessed with their image and they're going out and they need to have the attention from everybody in the crowd. They got to be the center of attention all the time, or they got to be the jokester and they got to have everybody laughing at them. They need that constant attention. 9 times out of 10, you're dealing with a narcissist, okay? Now, the next way, and this is probably the best way to recognize a narcissist. This is really the nuts and grinds, how do you say, of what you'll know whether you're dealing with a narcissist. But it may not be the quickest way to figure out if you're dealing with a narcissist. The number one way to know that you are dealing with a narcissist is whether they're there for you when you're down. And I've experienced this. And I've experienced this with family, okay? People that I never thought would turn their back on me when I was down with my son, I saw their true colors. I saw who was there for me and who wasn't there. I saw who said, oh, well, you could always call 911, okay? This is the empathy that I got when I was down. And that shows you somebody's true colors, okay? When you're down, because it's all about empathy. That's the number one thing, and the quickest way to realize whether you're dealing with a narcissist is how empathetic they are to you and your situation, and they have nothing to gain by helping you. Somebody who helps you and has nothing to gain by it is somebody who is true blue, a caring person. But see, sometimes a narcissist will help you so that it makes their image look good to other people. They're not doing it for you because they have empathy. They may pity you. And when people pity you, they have a superior attitude. It's different than somebody being empathetic that really has heart for you. So sometimes narcissists can pity you where they have, a higher air and looking down on you and pity you and do something for you. And then they want it known to everybody else, whether it's in the family or whoever else, that they did something for you. But that wasn't out of empathy. And don't confuse the two. It wasn't out of empathy. It was out of pity, and also because they wanted the credit for their image of doing something nice to be shown to other people around. That's the only reason they did it, was to, lift up their image in other people's eyes. And that is usually like a communal narcissist, narcissists that do something like give to a charity, but they're not giving to the charity because they care about the charity. They're giving to the charity because they want that notoriety of giving to the charity. They want to post it all over Facebook about how they're with the governor of New York, or how they're with politicians, or how they're with this charity or that charity. It's not that they care about the charity. It's because they want the praise that they're associated with these kind of things to make them look like they're a charitable person, but they're not charitable because they're only doing it so that people think they're that way, okay? Because they want credit and they want to be portrayed. Again, it's about the image. They want their image to look good, that people look at them, that they are good people, they're charitable people. But in the reality of it is, if you ever had to call them, they wouldn't be there for you. Or if they know that you're down or you're having hard times, they disappear and ghost on you. So that is not a charitable person. That's not a Christian person. That's not a person of God that they portray, okay? These people are false prophets, all right? False prophets. I know it because I lived it. No, you could never know this unless you live it, all right? That's the difference between a real influencer and a fake influencer that just spits out things that they hear from other influencers, okay? Because you know certain details that somebody else wouldn't know unless you lived it, all right? So this is what I'm telling you. This is the best way to spot whether somebody is a narcissist is whether they're there for you when you're down, okay? And they have nothing to gain by helping you, okay? So most narcissists, they will disappear on you. And the way you could test it is if you got sick. You know, just tell a narcissist you got sick and watch how fast they disappear. They'll disappear. They may say something like, oh, I hope you feel better. If you need anything, give me a call. And then when you call them, guess what? They don't pick up their phone for days and then come back with an excuse. Why? Because narcissists don't want to be bothered. They don't want to help you. You know, they don't want to be inconvenienced. They don't want to put themselves out, okay, unless they have something to gain. So this is the best way, rather, to know whether you're dealing with a narcissist is whether they'll put themselves out for you and they have nothing to gain. Not even that praise by telling other people that they did something for you. They did it, and they did it in silence, and they did it because they want to help you and they care about you, okay? Now, there are other ways to tell whether somebody is narcissistic, obviously. Well, another way is if they don't take accountability and they always flip the flame. I can't talk, you guys, because I've been, talking all morning. Another way is if they blame shift. In other words, you bring something up to them for them to take accountability and to own when they're wrong. And what do? They flip the blame on you, okay? They flip the blame on you. Another way, to realize whether you could be dealing with a narcissist is if they don't validate what you say. Typical covert narcissist. They don't validate. They ignore you. They turn their back. They pretend like they don't hear you. They change the topic. They change the subject when you're talking. They don't acknowledge when you're telling them you're doing well for yourself. They may just say, oh, that's good, and then change the subject. Why? Because they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear about your good fortune, okay? So, but you have to be careful with things because narcissists, sometimes they pretend to be happy for you, but they're really not. This is the covert narcissist now. They pretend to be happy for you, but they're really not happy. And once you tell a narcissist that you're doing really well, it's going to eat them up alive and they're not going to want to be around you because it's going to kill them. Whatever success or good things that are going on in your life, it's going to kill them. So they're going to not want to be around you because they can't even hear about your good things, your good fortune, all right? So these are all ways, to realize whether you're dealing with a narcissist. Another, common way is if they're sarcastic. Sarcasm is a form of passive-aggressive behavior, covert narcissist. So they give you a dig, all right? They give you a dig, and then they say, oh, it's only a joke. I'm only a joke. It's only a joke. Why are you so sensitive? They know exactly what they're doing. They're giving you a dig. They're making you feel lousy about yourself. They're well aware that they're making you, a joke that makes you feel lousy is somebody slighting you, okay? So it's a joke at your behalf. And it's a way to put you down And it's a way to put you down so that if you say anything about it, then they could say you're sensitive, you can't take a joke, all right? But, when you deal with somebody like that, you just remove yourself. You just tell them, you know what? I don't find that funny at my expense. And you walk away, okay? You walk away. Or you could say something to them like, does it make you feel better to put me down? Does it make you feel better to put me down? And then give them a half a smile and walk away like they're a joke. They're the joke, all right? So, you guys, these are just some of the ways that you can recognize whether you're dealing with a narcissist, okay? I mean, you got to also keep in mind, there's different kinds of narcissists and there's different kinds of supply that they're after. So you got to keep in mind, what that narcissist is after, okay? And if it's a narcissist after sex, they're going to love bomb you. And, even if you tell them no, they may say, oh, that's okay. I could wait the 90-day rule. Some of them will do that. And then they'll put you on the bench, okay? They call that like benching, where they put you on the bench and they're seeing other people. But you didn't know by them telling you no. So no does not always mean that you could quickly spot a narcissist. Oh my God. There's so much misinformation out there on the internet. That's why you've got to always look at where you get your information from and who's giving you that information and what's their motive in giving you that information, okay? The reason that I'm on here, I started out in dating and relationships because I was a victim of the game. And I wanted to expose these people and make people aware of the games that these narcissists were playing, okay? This was my way to get back at the narcissist that played me, was to podcast. It started out as a hobby and it took off, okay? And people liked what I had to say because I speak the truth. But you have other people that preach about narcissism that basically just copy what you say. I have influencers that copy what I say and then make it their own, okay? And because they have more followers, people think it's coming from them, all right? Because these people didn't live it. They didn't experience it. So they got to copy other people's material. It's really pathetic, you guys. It's really pathetic. So, always look at the motive, the intent of where you get your information from these people. Or if they have an intent of doing it, it could be for money, all right? You see that a lot with a self-aware narcissist. Why would a narcissist ever want to say that they're a narcissist? They wouldn't. The only time they would want to say that they're a narcissist is because they're making fucking money off it, okay? Don't be a sucker and believe this nonsense. My God, you guys, all right? You can't believe everything you hear. You can't believe everything you hear. So this is what I'm telling you. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to follow my podcast. You can listen to whoever you want. But I'm just telling you, as a word to the wise, always know where you get your information from, because there is a lot of misinformation out there. And always look who posted that information first and see if somebody is copying as well. All right. I want to make you guys aware of everything that goes on when it comes to narcissism, because this way it educates you. You can never get enough education, all right? So, getting back on focus, when we talk about, the quickest way to figure out whether somebody is a narcissist, the quickest way I know that somebody's a narcissist is if they have this inflated image of themselves, if they're the kind of person that goes out and is like hyper-focused and worried about how they look because they're worried about their image, if they flip the blame on me and they can't take accountability, big red flag, you're dealing with a narcissist, okay? If they're not there for you when you're down, when you're sick, when you have financial problems, they disappear and ghost you. The biggest red flag that you're dealing with a narcissist is that they have no empathy. Okay, they're not there for you when you're down. They show you very little caring, all right? They show you very little caring, or they victim shame you, Okay, and I've had that done to me as well, where I was victim shamed when it came to my son, where people came to me and they said to me, well, what did you expect? He had behavioral issues. You should have put him in a residential home years ago or something like that. They victim shamed me because I'm an empathetic person that worried about the welfare, the safety, the security, and I was worried about the abuse and neglect in these places. I can't tell you how many arguments I had with people about this, all right? They didn't have the same empathy I had, and I could never put my son in a place like that, all right? But they didn't understand that, and they didn't have any heart for that. Instead, they victim shamed me for it and said, well, you're dealing with everything you did. You're dealing with everything you're dealing with now. You did it to yourself because, you should have placed him in a home, okay? Or I was called the martyr as well. They called me the martyr, all right? But I don't care what anybody says because my children come first, all right? I did something that they could never have done, any of them, okay? I sacrificed my life for my children and my child, all right? I gave up my freedom. I gave up everything, okay? So the point I'm trying to make in all this, you guys, is you really see who's got your back and who doesn't have your back when you're down, okay? And they have nothing to gain from it, all right? So I hope that helps you guys. I went off on a tangent this morning. I'm losing my voice because I'm doing so many things at once, all right? If you like the podcast, please, hit the subscribe button. Please share the podcast, and please have a great day, you guys. If you guys are having a problem in your dating or relationship, or you're dealing with somebody maybe that's narcissistic, you don't know if they're a narcissist, or you're just having problems, you're in a toxic relationship, and you need some clarity on it, go to the link in the podcast description for my website where I offer email and phone coaching. If you have a quick question, just a quick question, and you want to get a video sent back to you answering your question, there's also a link there for Vizio where I will send you a personalized video answering your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. Hi, you guys. I just want to let you know that the Game Exposed now has their merchandise available. Check out the link in the bio. And you could go check it out. There's cool hoodies, cool sweatpants, cool hats. So go to the bio for the link. And also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at The Game EXP 123, and also on Instagram, The Game EXP 123. Okay? And have a great day.